The bad weather. Once upon a time, in a quaint little village nestled between rolling hills and lush greenery, there lived a community of people who relied heavily on their farming for sustenance. Their livelihood depended on the weather, and they had always been blessed with bountiful sunshine and gentle rains that nurtured their crops. However, as with all stories, there came a time when the weather took a turn for the worse. Dark clouds gathered ominously in the sky, and the once gentle rains turned into fierce storms that battered the village relentlessly. The winds howled like angry spirits, tearing through fields and homes alike, leaving destruction in their wake. The villagers were devastated. Their crops withered and died under the onslaught of the bad weather, leaving them without food or means to sustain themselves. Desperation gripped their hearts as they struggled to rebuild what the storms had destroyed, but it seemed like an insurmountable task. Amidst the chaos and despair, there was one man named Thomas who refused to give in to hopelessness. Despite losing his own crops and facing immense hardship, he remained steadfast in his belief that things would get better. Instead of wallowing in despair, he rallied his fellow villagers and encouraged them to work together to overcome the challenges they faced. With Thomas's leadership, the villagers pooled their resources and skills to rebuild their homes and replant their fields. They supported each other through the darkest days, offering a helping hand and a word of encouragement when needed most. Despite the adversity they faced, their sense of community only grew stronger, binding them together like never before. Months passed, and slowly but surely, the bad weather began to relent. The storms grew less frequent, and the sun peeked through the clouds once more, bringing with it a sense of hope and renewal. The villagers rejoiced as their crops began to flourish once again, a testament to their resilience in the face of adversity. As they looked back on the trials they had endured, the villagers realized that the bad weather had taught them valuable lessons about strength, perseverance, and the power of unity. It had brought them closer together as a community and reminded them of the importance of supporting one another through life's storms. During the darkest days of the bad weather, when hope seemed like a distant memory, Thomas remained a beacon of light for his fellow villagers. His unwavering optimism and determination inspired them to keep pushing forward, even when the odds seemed stacked against them. With his guidance, they found the strength to persevere, refusing to let despair consume them. Together, they weathered the storm, knowing that their unity was their greatest weapon against adversity. And so, the village emerged from the darkness stronger and more resilient than ever before. Though they knew that bad weather could strike again in the future, they faced it with courage and determination, knowing that as long as they stood together, they could weather any storm that came their way.